What up, what up?
Yo.
What up, Stoners? How y'all doing? Welcome to week 5 of the California Stoners League Fantasy Podcast. We got your host right here, Mr. Mike Bogart, the champ. Undefeated still. His streak continues on his way, looking for a 2-time back-to-back champion, trying to be the first one to ever do it. I hope he does it, because I want to be the first one to do that. Also, you're the GOAT. You already know. Knowledge. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
And we're going to start it like we always start it, with a joint and a recap from week 4. So, I'll spark this up. You can just...
Colts and Broncos tonight.
Colts and Broncos tonight.
Should be fun.
We're recording this Thursday, pretty much right before the game.
Mm-hmm. Don't put it... Oh, this is going to be after that, so, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's going to be too late if
You'll be
together.
You'll be seeing this after that. You know what I mean? It's not... missing it, but...
Portland Sutton tonight.
So last week, same old thing. We got pretty tight runnings. He's still undefeated. We have only 2 teams that are 1-3. A whole lot of 2-2 teams, and a couple teams that are 3-1. So it's all pretty tight right now. We already know how we do it. We got all of the little awards. The first award we got, as always, is the Waiver Wire Wizards. You know how it goes. You gotta make sure you pick up the good waiver wire ads. Not the waiver wire, excuse me. Special teams wizard.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important that you hit that right defense and you hit that right kicker. So, once again, there's a reason why he's undefeated. There's a reason why he's in first place. He scores a lot of points. And the special teams wizard, Mike over here, 31 points combined between his kicker and defense. Anytime you can get a solid combo like that between your kicker and defense, it's going to set you up in a really good spot to be able to win your game. And that's what it's about, week to week. You can only do these things week to week. So on a week to week basis, you're scoring like that. Hats off to you, the wizard, the special teams wizard.
And one of my favorite things with defenses is to get a defense on a really good team that's usually one of the best teams in the league. It's kind of hard to do that, to have like the good offense and the good defense, but the Eagles got that, and that's where I think I'm hitting.
That's smart. And my approach, if I can't do that, another good approach is to target the lowest scoring, the wackest, weakest offense in the NFL. So anybody that's has a really bad offense, play the defense against them. That's what I did last week, and it worked out good for me.
Yep.
We're gonna go into a little bit of the bad stuff right now. My man stays on this segment right here every week. He seems to stay in it. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But worst move of the week has to go to Tank. Last week he was GM of the week. First week he was he got the worst move of the week. But Meal, you can't party too hard. You party too hard, Meal. You go to sleep too late. You don't wake up. You forget. There's games at 6:30. They play in London. You gotta check your lineup. Make sure everybody's gonna play. You just left Alvin Kamara in your lineup. You got your 0 points locked in. You only lost by 15.
You played in London.
You only lost by 15. You had Gerald Everett just sitting on your bench. You could have threw right into your flag. 17 points. You win the game. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, straight up, that goes to you for that. And basically, next we're going to go ahead and just go with the GM of the week. As always, we have somebody who had made moves. This isn't always the person that did the best. I added a couple different segments to this right now because I felt a couple people did super great, you know what I mean? And so we went ahead and just added them. I'm gonna throw those in there right now. Like, biggest comeback of the week goes to Nick. He was down 70 points on Thursday, and he went ahead and came back. That was a huge comeback, and I had to feel great. So even though you didn't get GM of the week, it's because you scored so many points that you were going to win. The moves you made that could have gave you GM of the week got canceled out by how great the rest of your team just did as you blew back to come back from a 70-point deficit to claim that victory. So great job on that comeback of the week. And then the next one is the toughest loss of the week. I got a tough loss for Isaiah. He was in a high-scoring game. Him and he scored 144 points and lost to 149. That's tough. To lose 144 to 149, you already know you had so many guys play so well. You made so many good decisions, and to still come out with a loss, that's really tough. I feel for you, and we're going to have to give you the tough loss of the week. moving right over to the GM of the week, that's going to have to go to yours truly right here. You know, I broke it down. We did everything, our research, and
Not a biased opinion.
I'm the only person in here that made moves and ended up winning the game on a close game because of it. So by that in general, I automatically get the GM of the week. I did that by starting the Giants defense against a really shitty offense. I just went and looked at the shittiest offense that was out there, the Chicago Bears. They weren't doing shit, so I went ahead and started the Giants against them, and they played well for
18 points.
18 points. And not only that, I went ahead and kept J.K. Dobbins in my lineup. Everybody, if you listen to any kind of fantasy talk, anything, they're all telling you to stay away from him. Do not start him. He needs time. You need to let him see him heal. And I could have started like Rex Burkhead, who got 14 points or something like that, but I went ahead and threw him in the lineup. He got me 22 points. I ended up with a 40-point combination between the two, and I only won by 15 points. So I needed every bit of those 40 points to win that game. I was shocked.
Jonathan Taylor got hurt.
Jonathan Taylor got hurt. That helped me out. His tight end came back to life. You know, didn't do too great. So I had a couple things going for me right there that helped out. You know, Clyde Edwards-Helaire kept it up though. I wasn't expecting that. He did his thing, but you know.
I expected that Lamar Jackson down to earth game though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't get 40 points a game.
Yeah.
You know? I was giving him 20. I was expecting 20 from him.
Yeah.
But I was happy to only, get beat up by 15. So next we're gonna jump into our first segment. Right now we're gonna go ahead and do the segment called Underhyped and Overly Underhyped and Overly Reliable. These are guys that are just proven to be reliable, but you're not hearing about them. They're not talked about like the A.J. Browns and the Tyreek Hills and the Devontae Adams and all these flashy names that everybody loves. Saquon Barkley's tearing it up, and all these guys you're hearing about, But
they're supposed to do that.
Exactly.
That's what they expect.
So these guys might be supposed to be doing this, but you're not really putting them on the same category.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about them like that, and you should be, So first we're going to go ahead and go with, in the receiver position, we got Hollywood Brown. And he's not somebody you're talking about right now, Marquise Brown. Their offense is kind of stagnant over there in Arizona. Something seems to be off. You're getting weird numbers from people. And I know, like, my brother, he happens to have them in a couple other leagues. Also, Stevie B, shout out Stevie B, even though you're fired from the producer. Shout out to Dirty Dave, he's the new producer behind the camera because Steve never shows up. But that's neither here nor there. Let me get back on topic. But yeah, he went ahead and he even asked me like, oh, do I play Marquise Brown? Or other guys thinking about benching him. He might have even benched him one week because he was a little unhappy with what he's got. So
yeah, he's got him 14, 12, 28, and 20. There's no reason for you not to be starting him.
Exactly. So
I think people are scared of the Arizona Cardinals, but I mean he's been productive despite the ups and downs of the offense and the
he's the number 6 ranked receiver right now. Out of everybody. So he's quietly the 6th best receiver in the league. He's on the field for 95 to 93% of the snaps in every game so far this year. He's demanded a double-digit targets in the last 3 games, 11, 17, and 11. So he's somebody who's getting the targets, he's getting the catches, he's getting the fantasy points, but he's not like getting that love, that shine. He's not flashy. He's just hardworking, blue collar, getting it done.
Yeah, especially with DeAndre Hopkins not there, he's gonna have his time to shine until the time being. And then when DeAndre Hopkins comes back, I'm pretty sure he's carved in a good enough role, and his relationship with Kyler Murray is gonna be even better. So I think it's not kind of off subject, but the Arizona Cardinals are gonna be a little bit more better than they were the beginning of the season.
Yeah. The next guy right here, this guy is pretty much the epitome of this list. Not only is he underhyped for the league, he's underhyped on his own team. My man T. Higgins, all right? He's the 1A to the 1A of Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
But if you look at their draft positions and their average draft spot, it was way separated. He was a lot higher of a draft than Jamar Chase was. And I'm telling you right now, I personally think at the end of the year, T. Higgins is going to have better numbers than Jamar Chase will. So that's my prediction. I mean, through the game so far, he's had in the first game he got hurt, but he threw up a dud there with 4 points. But since then he's got 19, 14, and 25 points. He's ranked the wide receiver 14, but that's because he got hurt with the concussion in week 1.
Yeah.
He would have got more targets. Since then he's got 10 targets, 7 targets, and 9 targets. He's on the field for 75 to 89% of the snaps. He's running a lot of routes. He's out there, and everyone's thinking about Jamar Chase. You know, so that I'm like T. Higgins all day. They're worried about Chase. This guy's a big body. He's out there getting.
They take Chase doesn't suck. They take him out of the game plan purposely, and that frees up Higgins. You know what I mean? So that's how it works out for him, and I think that is a trend that should be happening for the rest of the season.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna move right on to the running backs. We got a couple guys here, just underrated guys. Not that they're not as flashy as we're saying. We'll start off with Josh Jacobs. I'll let you go ahead and spit some stuff about my man Josh Jacobs because he's basically a Raider. You're a Raider fan.
Yeah, I'm a Raider fan. With the way our offense was looking, it kind of seems scared to even touch him or even put him in our starting lineup. But with the way the other running backs are doing, the other running backs that are even better than him doing in the rest of since the season started. Considering that he's doing good, you shouldn't have to worry about him. It's scary for some people that are not paying attention too much, but if you pay attention, you shouldn't be scared of playing him. He started off with 8, 9, 14, then 34 fantasy points, so he's been improving significantly game to game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and with how thin the running back position has been and the amount of points that running backs have got you in general from week to week. I mean, all you need to know is he's the number 7 ranked running back right now. He's got you the 7th most fantasy points so far. So all these other names that are a lot better, that are a lot prettier, that that look great. Something's happening, whether they're underperforming or they're getting hurt. Things are happening, and Josh Jacobs is just underhyped and overly reliable, coming through for you week in, week out. What is it? His rush attempts. He had 28 rush attempts this last week. 28.
Against a good Denver defense
28 attempts. That's ridiculous. He's on there for 90% of the snap count last week. Anywhere from 72 to 90% is what he's been on the field. He's out there, reliable, getting you numbers, and lock him in. If you have him, don't worry about all the glamours and glitz. Throw Josh Jacobs in your lineup and be happy to look at those double-digit points he gets you.
Our offense should be getting better. It should be improving too. So you have that to look forward to with that.
And the next guy we got, it feels good to see him kind of get out right here, get into the end zone a little more. He's on a great team. Not talked about right now. He fell really far in the drafts. He wasn't as pretty as a lot of these other guys, and he was the number 1 running back for them going into the year. So Mr. Miles Sanders.
Yes.
He's out here being productive for you. He's ranked actually right behind Josh Jacobs at the number 8 spot. So again, right inside the top 10, putting production up for you week in, week out. He's got 18 points week 1, then 11. Then he had an off week in week 3 with 5. And then he had 29 points this week against Jacksonville, who's had a really, really step up in their defense this year. They've actually, been able to prevent pretty well. So that's he's got a lot going for him. He's been hitting the end zone. Last year he had the end zone curse. They're saying he should be able to hit it more.
3 touchdowns this year.
That's already, I think that might be more or the same amount that he's got all of last year.
So that's close.
Yeah. I can't be sure. We need David. Can you fact check that for me? No, because he didn't even show up to his first day on the job. What's up with these guys? No one gets.
Miles Sanders is one of the best right now. The best team in the NFL.
Exactly. Yep. So he's on one of the best teams, and like you said, it's good to have players on the best teams in the NFL. The same way you want to get the defense, it is great to have your starting players be on the best teams in the NFL. There's been a high offense, there's a high opportunity,
scoring
equals high reward.
Multiple scores a game.
Exactly. So there we go. That is our underhyped and overly reliable bunch right there. Actually, I'm going to add one more. I'm sorry, I forgot. We threw one in at the last minute because we need to show the tight end some love.
Yeah.
And this guy right here wasn't talked about on the top. But he's been a name for a long time, but he's older and everybody was ready to push him out. They were actually talking about his backup as soon as he goes somewhere and stuff. Mr. Zach Ertz, good old reliable. He's sitting there at tight end number 5. So you sitting with the top 5 tight end. He's getting the targets week in, week out in an offense that looks like they're trying to find themselves. They don't quite have everything in gear. That tight end is going to be the safety net. He's going to be the guy that you're checking down to, that you're looking for over the middle to just get the ball out of your hands, that big target. And it's proven through the last 3 weeks. 11 targets, 10 targets, 6 targets. He's got double-digit fantasy points in every game he's played. 11, 15, 10, and 16. What more do you want from a tight end? Like, people are drafting George Kittle in the second and third round.
Still holding on to Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, and they're blocking. Exactly. These guys are blocking or not being targeted or not being used. Like, he's out there producing for you. Lock him in. He's reliable.
Yes.
He might not have been as flashy, but he's definitely underhyped and over-reliable.
He's one of the few things going good for that Arizona offense.
Exactly. So next, we're going to go ahead and jump into this next category. We got a couple people we're going to talk about, and whether it be good or bad, something has to give. The way things have been going, the way these players have been utilized, they are either being underutilized and overperforming, or they are being overly utilized and underperforming. Either way, something has to give. Beware. Be on the lookout. We're getting towards Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Danger. Beware. Spookiness ahead. You gotta watch out for a couple of these guys.
Yeah.
And the first one is Chase Edmonds. So if you happen to have Chase Edmonds in your starting lineup right now, playing against the undefeated first player in our league, take him out. I don't know if I'm talking to anybody specifically, but you might want to consider taking him out of your lineup.
Don't take him out.
Because you can just look at his snap counts. For week 1 he had 63% snap share. Week 2 he had 51% snap share. Week 3, 44% snap share. This last week, he just had 28% snap share. I'm wondering if he's going to be on the practice squad next week with the amount of time he's on the field. I don't know what's going on. They're using Raheem Mostert. He does have these little design plays around the red zone, which is making him fantasy productive. He has 10 points week 1, more what I think should be around his average. 5 points week 2, then he's got 15 points and 10 points, making him look like a viable RB2 in our 14-team format. You know what I'm saying? But you got to watch out. I'd be more thrilled to have Raheem Mostert going forward. There's a lot more chance. I like the opportunity for him with the snap count and stuff like that. So I think something has to give. Either they need to start handing this man the ball more, or he's gonna stop finding his way into the end zone and salvaging your day and giving you any
I don't know.
production.
He's giving them double-digit points 3 games out of 4, so
That's-
they might have to just start him still. You know,
Well,
you guys have to.
I mean, I don't know. Unless if you have somebody else on your bench or whatever. Actually, I know Garza doesn't have anybody on his bench, so he probably does have to start him. But a normal person might have people on their bench that they can actually put into their starting lineup, and then those people, they should put him on the bench and throw somebody else in there, because I'm not liking the way that it is this week. Somebody else that I'm on the same boat with, that I feel like it's going to be a little bit harder to convince you guys on this one because his numbers are a lot higher, but CEH, and he plays on a great team. I was just talking about how you want running backs, and you want running backs on a great team. He's a running back, and he's a running back on a great team, and he's scoring you a whole lot of fantasy points. He is sitting at fantasy running back number 4. He's got you 22 points, 15 points, 14 points, and 22 points. So the fact I'm sitting here talking down on him right now is probably like, you're crazy. You know, what do you know? But I do know he's then getting 39% snap count, 44% snap count, 40% snap count. He's getting 10 attempts per game. He's averaging. This last game he got 20. He did pick it up. In this last game against Tampa Bay, I didn't get a chance to fully watch that game to see the exact game script. But either that's going to have to happen, and he's going to have to continue to get those kind of touches every single week, which I'm not sure is going to happen. I do know that Isaiah Pacheco did look good in a couple of positions towards the end when they started to use him. And I know Shefty's really high on him. And anytime Shefty's high on somebody, you got to keep an eye out for him. Plus, they were already underutilizing him to begin with. I just don't feel like they're 100% sold on him. And I really feel like him finding the end zone has saved him. I don't know how many touchdowns. Yeah, he's got 2 touchdowns, just a lot of targets.
It's the passing game that's helping him out a lot.
And so the 3 targets, 4 targets, 5 targets, 2 targets. That's what's saving him right there. But he's barely on the field. He's getting outsnapped by the other guys, or not outsnapped, but it's just too much of a timeshare.
Pacheco's coming.
Pacheco's coming, and I'm saying something, something that's got to give. You can't stay like that.
Yep.
And the last one we're going to go with a little bit, hopefully, are a little bit more of a positive note. Even much as I am down on this guy, something has to give with DJ Moore, because he is getting a shitload of targets. He's there, he's getting targeted, he's on the field 100% of the snaps to 96% of the snaps. He's out there running routes. He's proven that he can put up good numbers with mediocre to bad quarterbacks. So he's shown in the past he's capable of doing it, and he just hasn't put up quite good numbers. 8 points, 13 points, 2 points, and then 12 points this last week. So I think something has to give, and he's going to be a lot more steady for you into the 15 to 20 point range going forward, or they're going to have to start doing something else with their offense.
Yeah.
Because it's not working out to continue to keep them on the field the way they are, running the routes the way they are, targeting them the way they are, and not producing.
Yeah.
So
I'll consider him. I mean, I saw it at number 3, I guess. With number 2 upside.
But for where you drafted him,
For where you
you
drafted
were
him,
hoping
that's
for
not-
a lot
that's
more.
not-
And
You might have to keep him on your team.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
unless you can find somebody to trade him for, But
yeah.
I'm saying hopefully brighter days are ahead.
Yeah.
Maybe he can get it into it, and it
The
won't
young
quite
guy,
be.
too,
Yeah.
it should be.
And we got one more. This is straight for the league right here, and this is something's got to give with Bo's team. He keeps losing while scoring a good amount of points. So this is kind of a trend for Bo when you think about it. He's actually been scored on the most points this year so far.
Yeah.
Than anybody. Everybody is scoring a lot of points. He's scoring decent points. He's putting up numbers that could and should have him a winning record. But everybody else, when they play him, they're scoring a lot of points. And
he has like 5 for having like over 500 points.
well, he has like almost 500.
No, almost 4.
But he's got
488
But he has
points.
566 points scored against him. So almost 100 more points scored against him. Guys are balling out against him. And this is a trend that dates back to last year. So last year, Bo didn't make the playoffs, and he had one of the best teams. I've never seen a team score so many points and not make the playoffs, and lose so many games at the same time.
Yeah.
He lost so many games and scored so many points. It was ridiculous. Every week I kept saying it's impossible for him to continue to score these points and lose games. And every week he kept scoring that many points and losing games. So I don't know what's happening over here with Bo, what kind of luck he's got going on his side, or who put the Bo voodoo doll out on him. But he's getting a bad wave, and either Bo's going to have to start scoring less, or he's gonna have to start winning games.
There's no moves he could do with. He has the good guys.
Yeah, he's got a solid starting lineup. The guys are there. He's putting up numbers and he's losing games. It doesn't make sense, but welcome to fantasy football. You know what I mean? That's where we're at, and that wraps up that segment. So, boom. Next, we're gonna go ahead and keep it inside of our league right now for this next segment, and we're gonna go ahead and check on Nick's team. We're following Nick. If you were here with us, Nicky Moon, he's a bridesmaid in our league. He's been the runner-up multiple times, but he's never won it. This is a 10-year league standing we've been going on, and he's never won it. He's came in second place about a good 3 or 4 times. He's usually always in the playoffs. He puts up a solid run all the time, and he just can't get over that hump. And this year, me and Mike both felt like he put together a really solid draft, and we felt like we were going to follow his journey this year.
Yep.
We felt like if he had any chance, on paper, this was a good year, he can do it. So we'll go ahead and just check his team out right now. You're up at his team right now? Click on his team.
Yes,
Pull it
sir.
up. Let's pull his team
We
up.
got Russell Wilson, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley is the star of his team.
Mike
Mike Evans.
Let's slow that down right there and drop it one player at a time. So
All right, we go Russell.
he's-
Let's start up.
he's rocking. Ooh, I like him. He went with Cooper Rush this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's benched himself a little bit of. He's sick of. Did he just drop him all the way? Did he straight drop him right now? I don't see him on
You
his
got
team.
Russell Wilson.
He just dropped Russell
You're
Wilson.
gonna have to go make a
Do
claim.
I need to go pick him up right
You
now?
need to go make a claim.
Should I start him right now?
You might have to make a claim.
Should I start him right now? I got like 5 minutes. Oh, I can't. He barely dropped him. It's a waiver claim. I can't even pick him up. But all right, he's going with Cooper Rush. Russell Wilson has underperformed, and I'm guessing he's tired of his shit. That's what just happened. This is brand new, breaking news, live on the air right now with you guys. And am I in the keepers?
You're on keepers.
Never mind. I'm on the
He's
keepers.
on the keepers league.
I got excited right now. I'm sorry. Wrong league. That was a bad little bit right there.
Yeah.
But yes, he has Russell Wilson. He did not drop Russell Wilson. He is starting him right now, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to just drop him. So he's got Russell Wilson, who's underperformed, as we just said. He had a really good last week against the Raiders. Is that who he played?
Yeah, Russell Wilson played against the Raiders last week.
Yeah, he had 26 fantasy points, something like that. I know because I have him in a different league. Came through for him, so he's on the fence right now. I'm not sold on him. I'm not happy with the quarterback he's got going on. But right now, the way fantasy quarterbacks are going, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that are overly producing like we thought. Like, remember at the beginning of the year, you're like, oh, you can wait, and there's all kinds of quarterbacks that are going to give you 20 points a week. That's not the case. There's like 3 of them. And if you don't have Lamar Jackson, if you don't have Allen, if you don't have Hurts, and maybe Murray. He's been shaky, but he's put up, decent points. If you don't have one of those 4 guys, you're in for a single-digit night maybe one night. You don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. So in a season where a lot of quarterbacks are shaky, he can be okay with the underperformance of Russell Wilson and just play the wire. He's kind of performing at the level of all these other ones that are
you guys are just hold on to him.
Exactly. So then he's got Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. That's the 1-2 hit of his entire thing right there. The steal of the draft to get Saquon that late, pair him up with Christian McCaffrey. Both of them staying healthy. You got a 1-2 punch that's going to get there. So we're in week 5 coming up right now, and they're proving to kill it. They're doing their thing. And I'm thinking he's looking strong.
That's a bad matchup against San Francisco, though.
Yeah, that's this week.
Yeah.
We're just,
I know what you're saying.
In general, he's just coming off last week. He just got the most targets.
Yeah,
what did he get? 8 targets? No, I'm talking about
McCaffrey.
Right?
Yeah.
He just had 8 targets. Finally, they weren't using him in the passing game, and everybody knows the reason why Christian McCaffrey is worth so much is the way he's utilized in the passing game. So they finally came back, used him in the passing game. He got you 25 fantasy points, best of the season, and I'm looking more of that to be his average than the 15 points he was getting. So even with a tough matchup, I still see him 15 floor. I see his floor 15.
He had 8 attempts and only 27 yards.
Yeah, but he's
I didn't
9 for 9 in 81.
That's an interesting
9 for 9 in 81.
That's interesting.
But look at he's been getting low attempts and low yardage on his. Look at most of his rushing yards hasn't been there. He's not a pound and rusher. He's not a pure runner. He's not Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
He's not Derrick Henry. He's Christian McCaffrey. He catches the ball in the backfield. He's dynamic and elusive.
Yeah.
Anyways. Good combo. Then he's got Mike Evans and Gallup. He just threw Gallup in his starting lineup. I like it. He's a Cowboy fan, so he's gonna splash that way. Evans has good matchup. He's been put up great numbers all year so far. Even the one time I think he had like 1 dud week, right? Which he's
9.
He's
showing Lattimore. You know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to call that, and he got ejected from the game, so he didn't even get to finish it. So besides that, he's 30 points last week. He's balling. He's doing them good. He was able to pick up Higbee off of the waiver wires. I feel like that was an amazing pickup.
Yeah.
He's target king. There's nobody. Allen Robinson is basically MIA right now.
I like Higbee up there with your Zach Ertz.
It's Cooper Kupp. Yeah, it's Cooper Kupp and it's Higbee. Those are the only 2 guys getting any kind of targets in the starting lineup. So he's solid there. He's got Antonio Gibson, who's worked out for him in the flex. Brian Robinson should be coming back in the next 4 weeks. When we check, we'll see how that Gibson play looks.
He might play this week.
When we check him up. I don't think he'll play this week, but I think the next couple weeks he should play.
Did you see I guess they practiced today, and there was a post that they said that he busted up a big touchdown run from the middle.
Oh,
he ran by Ron Rivera, and they after the touchdown, and they congratulated him, and they hugged him. Say good.
I missed that. Nah,
I just maybe a couple hours ago.
Okay, yeah. See, hot fresh take. I didn't even know that. I was off golfing today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't early morning stuff before the cast. Right? I didn't see anything from today's news.
It's a good football news and real life news for
exactly.
Brian
So
Robinson.
that's so great for Brian Robinson. Glad to see it. Glad to hear it. I can't wait to see him make his NFL debut. And I'm so happy to hear that his recovery is speedy and going well. His bench right now, he made a solid pickup last week. I didn't get to talk about it too much because he didn't make the GM of the week right now, but he did pick up Reynolds, wide receiver for Detroit, with no Amon St. Brown, no DJ Chark, no Swift. Started him. He got him 16 points. Tore it up. It was a great spot start for him. Showed that he's staying on top of his game and he's not trying to kind of be sloppy. Usually he'll always make a bonehead move here or there. Does something that's very Nick Munoz-like. But this year he's staying very, very on top of it. He's being really everything. I can't complain. Everything he's doing, it seems like to be the right move on paper. As my man Bo would say, it looks good on paper.
Yeah.
And that's his team. He's got the Cowboys D, sucker defense. He's not really been drafted because the Cowboys D has been playing so good. He started with them. You just kind of ride him all week. He's got the Bucks kicker. I haven't really checked to see how. Let me see how his points have been up. 15, 10, 8, and 8. You can't really drop that. You know what I'm saying?
They score all the time.
They're getting points for you, so he's solid in those regards right there. He's looking pretty good. He's currently sitting in third place at 3-1. And he's got a pretty good matchup this week. I'm pretty confident, right? Who does he play? The Tank, who's a little banged up.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of gut stuff going on. So, that right in. That is actually, my first pick of you're going to win this week, Nick. I'll throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? A little preview to Knowledge's picks of the week, a little teaser. But which we're going to get to soon. You already know. Next, we got to get into my favorite segment of the entire show, Bogart's hot takes. Because I don't know if you guys pay attention to his hot takes and his bold predictions, but my co-host over here, he likes to be right more than he's wrong. So pay attention to these hot takes and these bold predictions. And if you got any of these guys, throw them in your mind with confidence.
Okay. My first hot take is for two guys, and I got Geno Smith. I got Geno Smith throwing him the ball. I got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to be what did I say? A top 20. Two top 20.
Both of them. Inside the top
so they're
20.
going to both get double digits.
Okay.
Whoever gets 15, 18, whatever happens there is I'm not sure. I think Metcalf would be the one to get the more points, but they're both gonna do your team good this week.
So real quick, I don't want to switch the topic real quick, but by that does that make Geno Smith a streaming option for you this week? Not a must start, but a streaming option. Like if you're in trouble, like for instance, I seen somebody in our league starting Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Okay, with another good matchup this week against the Titans. Would you rather Geno Smith this week at where's he playing?
New Orleans. That's a little bit tougher
matchup. Or would you rather go with Wentz with the better matchup?
I'm gonna go. I would go with Geno Smith. Fresh off a 30-point game. He got 19 before that, and he had a 7-point game against San Francisco. So, we expect that everyone against San Francisco, and then he got 17. The first game he got 17 against Denver. So he's been better than some of the quarterbacks that we've drafted this year.
There you go. In our league, if you have Wentz in our lineup, there's a Geno Smith sitting on the bench, and my co-host over here is telling you should go drop Carson Wentz and pick him up and start him instead. Or you can just not do it and sit there.
Back to back 300
and
yards.
be sad because you didn't listen to him.
Back to back 300-yard games with 2 touchdowns.
So both of them inside the top. Inside the top 20.
The top 20.
There's 2 main targets.
2 main targets. Yep.
I like it. Okay. What else you got for us?
Okay. The next one.
Let's
see. The next one I got Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. I got Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris to be what did I say with them? What did I say with them?
They're both getting a double-digit fantasy points.
Double-digit. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it. Double-digit fantasy points. It might be 10-10, but that's they're going to be a good
worst case scenario.
Yeah, it's worst case scenario, but they're going to be 2 good flex options for you this week.
Worst case scenario, they're sitting with 10 points from you.
I believe Mac Jones might be hurt.
Yep.
And he is hurt, and then they're going to be their favorite thing is to run the ball even with him.
And they're playing against.
Tell
them who they're playing against. The Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions.
And
yes.
giving up an average of 30 points a game.
Yep.
The points got to come from somewhere. And with Mac Jones out,
Mac
I'm sure
Jones
a
out.
lot of it is going to come on the ground.
Yeah, it should.
I actually like that call right now way more now that I just put that together.
Yeah.
That is a good call.
Yeah, and you expect the receivers to get a lot of the work, but with Mac Jones not playing, I don't think Zappe's going to be able to get him the ball. So they're going to work with Bill Belichick's a smart coach. He's gonna do what's best for the team, the game plan for the team, and I think the game plan for the team is to pound, and toss and throw a couple passes to the running backs. And Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson have been productive, not productive as a sense of like maybe not number 2 or number 1, sometimes number 2 running back numbers, but a good flex for sure every week. You could leave them in your lineup and ensure a productive game from them, considering the Patriots get to the line and they like to give the ball to the running backs.
Yeah.
Damian Harris is the goal line touchdown guy. But he doesn't catch as much as Ramondre Stevenson, so it kind of evens out.
So you're saying there's a path
for both of them.
This to get to the end of fantasy points.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
They both have their own paths. They're different. They're not stepping over each other's toes to get to these points.
He gets with the catches. It makes up for not getting the touchdowns, and the same thing with Damian, vice versa. Yeah.
All right, I like it.
And then
what do we got next?
My next one, I got Teddy B to be a top 5 quarterback this week? Top 10 quarterback this week. I got Teddy B.
That was extra hot.
Yeah.
He was about to get extra hot on you.
Yeah, I like him though. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Yeah, I got him for a top 10 performance this week. I don't really know what the other quarterbacks are out there in their matchups.
Gino and Wentz.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got Teddy B to be top 10 with.
Tyreek Hill
and Waddle might be hurt, but even that, like I like the way I like the look of the Dolphins and where they're going with their offense and their whole team, and they're really competitive and everything's looking good, positive for them. So I think Teddy Bridgewater, he might not have boom games like Tua have a boom game like a 40-point game, but he's gonna give you a solid floor. That every week that Tua might sometimes give you a 10. You know what I mean? I think Teddy B is for sure like 15, 18 points every week, where maybe sometimes Tua will throw interception and have a bad game. You know what I mean? He's a good game manager. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So he's not going to be giving you, he might not give you those boom games. He might, but most likely he won't. But you don't have to.
His floor will be higher.
His floor will be, yeah.
Well, I like the way that sounds, and I hope he has a boom week this week. Being a person who is waiver spot starting him this week, you know, I got some quarterback troubles. I went with Trey Lance. As everybody in this league knows, I went with Trey Lance. He got hurt early, and I've been hitting the waiver wires, playing different people every week. So I'm going with Bridgewater this week. That was my pickup. So hearing you say that gives me extra confidence in the pick that I went with, and I'm happy to hear it. And I hope you are right.
Jets,
yeah, you got a good matchup
against the Jets.
That was my thing. I was actually leaning between him and Gino.
Yeah.
But I went with him because of the matchup. So that's what I went with. But Wentz owner, drop him for Gino.
Yeah, I don't really like Wentz too much.
All right. We're gonna get into the next segment. You already know our bold predictions of the week, where we get extra high, extra bold. And I don't know if you pay attention, but did you hit your bold prediction last week? Because I'm pretty confident you did.
I think I did.
You know, I'm not sure, but
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks, Eagles. I don't know. Go back and watch the last episode, and we're gonna hit you with some more hot takes right now that are Super Bowl predictions, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna put it on the nail right here. So I'll go ahead and go first. And I'm gonna go with my main man. Anybody knows me knows I've been on this guy's team. He's had a rough start this year, and it's been a little rocky. It's been a little shaky, but Terry Scary, McLaurin right here. He's gonna have a huge breakout game. I don't want to call it breakout because he's been there, but a bounce back. He's been a little rough Last week he only had 3 fantasy points, low single digits in the first 2 with the 16-point game in week 3, kind of mid-tier to under-tier. He's been producing, but his target share is where it was. It's under what it should be. We're used to him getting 10 targets a game, stuff like that, and it's been real low. But this week, you got Deshaun Dotson. Deshaun Dotson, the rookie. He's going to be out at least for 1 to 2 weeks. And a lot of the deep balls that were thrown right there that Wentz goes for, half of them were going to McLaurin and the other half were going to Dotson. So those targets, not only are they going to be going to somebody else, they're most likely all going to be going to Terry McLaurin because he's the one going to be running the routes in the spots that he was throwing the ball to. So they have a great matchup this week against the Tennessee Titans, who've given up the 3rd most points to fantasy receivers through fantasy football this year. And that's why I got my boy Terry going to be a top 14 or better receiver this week, which makes him a wide receiver 1 in our league. We're a 14-man league, so if he's 14 or better, he's a wide receiver 1, and he deserves to be started in your lineup, and he will be started in mine.
Me thinking Wentz sucks, I don't think affects really him too much because that just means he's just gonna keep on throwing.
Exactly. They're gonna be down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or he's
gonna suck. He's gonna throw a lot of interceptions, but he's gonna keep on trying to get him the ball.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So there we go. And what do you got?
All right.
Hit us with something bold.
Bold. You're gonna laugh at me. But I got Derek Carr to be a top 5 quarterback, bro. This week against the Kansas City Chiefs, divisional game. Got to win this game. I think Devontae Adams is gonna have his usual Devontae Adams game. We got Hunter Renfrow coming back. You still got Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs coming fresh off a big, huge game. Our offense looks like it's clicking, and then we're Renfrow back. I don't see why not. Why Carr can't be within that top 5. I mean, it should be a shootout. Every game is pretty much a shootout with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes if you want to keep up with them. You know what I mean? So I'm confident.
2, 3, 4. Let's see. So you got Derek Carr over Justin Herbert this week.
Who does Justin Herbert got?
I like it. Well, Justin Herbert is playing. Who do you got this week? The Browns at Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just naming. I'm gonna name some of the names right now.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say you're gonna give Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Kyler Murray your top 4 spots.
Maybe not Kyler Murray.
So he might even be 3rd or 4th. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Those I'm just automatically gonna put.
Yeah.
That would put Derek Carr at 5. Mm-hmm. That's how we get to Derek Carr.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna name some of these other names that he's gonna beat out that have been playing so far that are ranked ahead of him right now. Jared Goff.
Oh yeah.
Kyler. I'm sorry. Which one's gonna do? 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, that's a scary one, but I'll take it.
Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Christian Kirk. Trevor Lawrence. Geno Smith. Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah.
Tom Brady.
The more you keep on going, the more.
Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan.
Yeah, the more.
All those. So there's just a couple guys. So okay.
Yeah.
Confident.
There's like
it's
scared,
crazy though.
scared of
Isn't
the
it
Joe
crazy?
Burrow. I'm
Isn't
scared
it
of the
crazy?
Kyler Murray, but
Isn't that crazy? The how buried the quarterback position is this year.
Yeah.
The points right now is desolate out there. There's not a lot of stuff going along. But all right, I like the bold prediction. It's bold, and I still haven't even got to him. Let me see where Derek Carr is right now on the rankings. Let me keep coming back down right. Derek Carr, there he is. He's ranked 13th right now, quarterback.
Means he should be rostered, I guess.
So he should be rostered in the top 14 in our 14-man league. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's not that horrible of numbers. So okay, I like it. There's a chance there. Mm-hmm. Nice. Now we'll go ahead and just jump right into, as we end every show, we like to spark up another joint and hit you with the matchups of the week. Knowledge's picks of the week. Matchup of the week I just talked about it. It was Tank versus Munoz. I got Munoz winning that. Moving on to 4-1. and another step closer to his first ever title.
The projections are pretty close though, but Frank might pull up a little scare, but yeah, it looks like you're right.
Then I got upset of the week. I'm gonna go with my upset of the week right here is my boy El Cochino. Behind the camera, Mr. Dirty Dave himself, just digging in it right now. He's not here because he's currently busy digging in it. Whatever that means, you figure it out. I don't know. That's just a text.
That's what he says.
He
Yeah.
said, "I'm not here. I can't make it. I'm digging in it." That was Dirty Dave, and he digs. So I got him for the upset of the week. He's going against Este. He's got himself a nice. He's projected to lose by a good little 15 points, but I got him pulling off the upset. I see it different. And then I also got Cal. You're gonna go ahead and get yourself another victory. Also moved to 4-1 against the Dark Raiders. His team's a little bit under the weather at the moment. He's got a lot of injuries or problems going on over there. And then he's also, I'm gonna go with Just Win Baby again. I almost win Herbert here and his team because I like Jacobs, I like Herbert, but Bo's team just looks too strong on paper.
Yeah.
Bo's team he's got the best team on paper that just never wins. I might always pick him every week and you might just lose, you know what I mean? I don't know. Get a win right here because you should win on paper.
Yeah, Brady has all of his weapons coming back.
Yeah,
so
he should come through for him, you know. This one right here, I tried, and I feel like there's a chance he could win. I tried to go for him, but I could not because of the matchup that fucking Najee Harris has and Chase Edmonds in his lineup. You know how you heard the segment, how I feel about Chase Edmonds, and I couldn't give him the win. So my partner here is going to be 5-0. He's going to be undefeated, one more step until he hits a different team.
The game just started.
The game just started, see? Wrapping it up right now, about to go watch the game. And the next we got Munoz, Team Munoz, I said that already. And last but not least, we got B4 Zaya. You know, he's going up against the Baby Blunt, the battle of the youngsters, the two young guns in here, the ones with all the stamina, the only two whippersnappers up in this league.
He's still with Jerry Jeudy.
Yep, he's stuck with Jerry Jeudy.
Yep.
He locked him in the lineup. He wanted the boom. I'm still going with his team. I like Nick Chubb and Joe Burrow. I like a couple. Keenan Allen, if he plays, he's going to do a lot of good things for him. Miles Sanders is right there.
He stacked that running back.
So, yeah, he's locked and loaded right now. And those are Nod's picks of the week. You already know. Make sure you go out, hit the waiver wire, and set your shit up. If you do not make my list, do better. You know what I'm saying? We'll rock out right now as we leave. You know what I'm saying?
Watch this game right now, dude.
Take it easy right now. Stoner shit. California's Stoners League. Fantasy Foods right here. Who you got in the game?
Cortland Sutton, and I got the Broncos to win pretty easy tonight. Let's see what happens with Mike Boone and them. You know, Latavius Murray's not gonna play. They said he made next week.
I got the Broncos.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy. Not unless Matt Ryan wants to be Matt Ryan of old and
I'm hoping he throws something to
Pittman. I don't know. That's a pretty hard defense.
I'm hoping he gets that. But all right, let's get to this game right now. What do you got?